So the Alexandria office, they tackled the problem of what do you do if a client can't afford to buy, and how can we leave those people with a positive experience? First of all, don't assume that they can't buy. I know we get the referral that says that they're looking for 6 bedrooms and 5 garages for $150,000, and all of us look at that referral and go, oh boy. Well, first of all, I've seen it plenty of times where somebody is coming from another area of the country and they've spoken to a representative and said, I'm willing to spend $150,000. That doesn't mean that that's what they're qualified for. They may be able to come up. Couple of key pieces of advice. First of all, this conversation is always, always, always best had face-to-face, whenever possible. So, first, choice one is face-to-face conversation. And the face-to-face conversation should have, included in it, why is real estate in our area so expensive, and why is that a good investment? Let's start there, because somebody's going through major sticker shock. They just don't understand, how is it possible that I had all of this where I'm coming from and now I'm going to another place? So that's number one. Number two, if they're not pre-qualified yet, what do we do? I know with your own customers, and I don't blame you, putting a certain set of requirements on people is important. It needs to be a dual relationship. However, when we're working with our biz dev clients, here's the commitment that you have to make in this business. You have to work with them for a day without that pre-approval. If they're unwilling to do it, you have to be able to take them out, show them how valuable your services are, and then ask again for that commitment. You can enlist the help of relocation, you can enlist the help of your branch leader, you can enlist the help of the LO inside your office to get this done. Really important, when you tell somebody why it is that they need a pre-approval, it is not so that you don't waste your time. Never, ever, ever say that. What we want to do is tell them that it's for them. The reason why we do a pre-approval is if today we find the dream home that you want to make an offer on, you're going to be in a much better position to get that house if you're pre-approved. Your offer will be much stronger with a pre-approval. And in fact, if you don't have a pre-approval and we make an offer, it could end up costing you money in the negotiation. And I don't want that to happen to you. Is that fair? That's real important. But again, we don't have the trust with every single one of these customers. Why might they not want to do a pre-approval? They may not want you to have their financials yet. They may not be comfortable yet with you. Get them comfortable, give them a day of service. If they then won't do a pre-approval, enlist the help of your branch leader. I know that's different than when you're working with your own customer, but that's a requirement of what we do. Well, just like anybody else, I have to set the expectations, and that's one of our expectations with these clients. One other thing, or two other things, somebody they may be coming in here to rent. These people generally buy, and they've talked to somebody about buying. It's a thought pattern. So if they decide to rent, don't lose touch with these people. They're going to do something, and it should be with you. You've already spent the time and the commitment. It's just a little bit of follow-up to make sure that when that lease comes up, you're in touch with these people. Finally, I know that we're dealing in this market with a lot of upside-down sellers. You got to let them know that you're there with them and that you feel for them and the situation that they're in. There are financial services that are available through USAA and NFCU. You can refer them back to them. You don't need to know about them. All you can say is, hey, you're part of a larger bank. They have planners. They have people that can help you. Provide solutions, and more importantly, provide empathy. Those people are in a very tough situation, and many people are in a tough situation, and we need to help them through that the best. What if they don't want to sign the buyer-broker agreement? Again, our company strongly suggests that everybody we work with have a buyer-broker agreement. However, we have an agreement with NFCU and USAA and our BizDev clients that if they don't want to sign that agreement, they don't have to. Let's explain why they would want to have a buyer agreement. And here's the really important thing that I've learned. Sign it for a day if you have to. Sign it for 2 days if you have to. And let the people know, look, there's a contract that you and I have. you get 100% of my best ability to provide customer service, and that's unquestioned, and it never runs out. All of the other documents that we sign are performance contracts. And in a performance contract, I have to perform and you have to perform. And we have to look at that on an ongoing basis and decide whether or not that's happening. Anything that you sign with me is subject to review and to our conversation. And so it's important for you to have a buyer's agreement, because that's what really ties me into representing you into this contract. But no, as a USAA customer, that's a conversation that we can have ongoing. And if it makes you more comfortable to sign it for just a day or 2 days or whatever it is, that's okay. The bottom line to this is, if after that they still won't sign it, you must work with that client. And I understand that people don't want to do that, but that's a requirement. And again, I have to set the expectations of what we're going to do. That's dictated down to us. We must work with these clients if they still don't want to sign that. So again, our goal is to get everyone to sign that. From the relocation side, you'll get supported on that. I know that I hear every once in a while that USAA is telling them not to sign something. Hey, they got hundreds of people down there. We went down there, we talked about it. It's a conversation that goes on and on and on and on and on and on. But the bottom line is, if they just won't sign it, we still got to work with them. I know that everybody out there knows that in the relocation world, it's a huge no-no to talk about referral fees or how it affects your commission or your ability to perform in any kind of a contract. We can never, ever, ever have that conversation. And I want to thank the Lexington Park office, because they talked about this and they came up with never means never. You know, you just don't talk about it. But they brought something up that maybe, sometimes the assumption is that you brought up the commission conversation, and it may be that the client you're working with brought it up. Specifically when they're talking about their cashback bonus. How do I get my cashback bonus? Where does that come from? Does that affect you? The standard answer to that, if anybody wants to know about their cashback bonus, there's 2 ways that you can refer them. Number one, their cashback bonus, there's a website for the NFCU or the USAA program. You refer them to USAA.com or NFCU.com and let them go on and look at their cashback bonus. It's not your place to discuss it. More importantly, they have used to be called Specialist, now it's called an REC. I don't even know what that stands for, but it's their REC. Refer them back to the REC. The REC should have that conversation with them, not you. And you can say, hey, just ethically and professionally, I don't like to talk about referral fees or how it affects. You're going to get great service from me. That's part of the NFCU program. You can call your REC and they'll explain it to you. So that's really important, and I didn't realize that probably that comes up a lot with you. Finally, benefit packages for corporate relo. Can't ask them about that. You can't ask them what their benefits are. They're different from the same company, the same executive. They might have 2 different things that they negotiated. We never want to step into that world. The only place that I would tell you that I think it's okay for you to step into that world, if you're writing a contract and it is contingent upon a buyout that they expect to receive on their home in Connecticut, it's okay for you to confirm. You don't need to know everything about it. You just want to make sure with them, hey, would you please do me a favor? Can you please contact Cardis or Primacy or whoever it is and double check and just absolutely make sure that you have a guaranteed buyout. I can't tell you how many times I've seen it where people think they have a buyout and they don't. So let's make sure that they have that. I'm absolutely fine with you asking that question. As far as all the other benefits, we can't get into it. We shouldn't get into it. Never means never.